NRC on Mithun in Nagaland. On the behalf of the Meadow Agriculture as a course director of 3 days training program, the scientific goat farming for sustainable livelihood, I welcome to you all the with warm regards and thank you for joining us. This training is especially designed for farmers, students, and young entrepreneurs who want to learn how to start and manage a successful goat farming business using a scientific methods. Over the next 3 days, we discuss various aspects such as housing, feeding, and healthcare, breeding, and marketing. We can start our session today program. It is my pleasure to introduce our first expert for today program, Dr. Sameer Kumar Das, as a principal scientist at Training and Education in Pune. He will teach on the housing and feeding management of goat, is crucial foundation for profitable goat farming. Sir, we warmly welcome to you the request to being your session.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jagdish.
Okay, welcome.
So I am going to share my PowerPoint slides. You see whether it is visible or not.
Not visible, sir, now.
Generally, in case of Zoom link,
Yes, sir, yes.
if we click on the share button, it automatically shows. Here it is not showing.
Please click in the share board, screen share, and after that, the come out the window session.
I have clicked it. Then
after that, you open in our desktop
window. Then I should click window.
Yeah.
Actually, my slide I have kept on desktop opening. So in case of
entire
Zoom
screen,
link,
sir.
it automatically
Entire screen, sir.
Entire screen. Okay.
Yes.
But it is
and
not.
Press share button, sir.
Entire screen. Press, na?
Share button,
but
sir.
Share button. Okay. Not coming. Entire screen. Share button. Okay. But it is share button.
Now okay, sir. Now okay. Minimize your screen, sir.
Show my screen anywhere, na kya?
Yes. Click and minimize your screen.
But I am not watching my screen.
Tab bar. Yes, sir. Minimize your screen.
Yes. Minimize.
Yes. Then you can go directly through your desktop. Yes, sir.
Desktop, na?
Hide. Yes, sir. Slide share mode.
It is visible.
Yes,
yeah,
sir,
slide share mode पे जाइए. Yes, now okay, sir.
It is visible, na?
Yes, sir, now fine.
Okay. I am audible also.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Okay. So may I start?
Yes, sir, sure, sir.
Okay. So to all the trainees and organizers, I'm going to start my topics, that is scientific goat farming for livelihood improvement. Myself, Dr. S.K. Das, Principal Scientist, Training and Education Center, ICR Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Pune, Maharashtra. Okay. So total presentation is divided into 4 or 5 parts: introduction, housing and management requirement, feed and fodder requirement, then breeding management, health management, economics of production. Then it is that livelihood improvement through goat farming in case of tribal and SC farmers. Conclusions. Okay. First part is the introduction. Goats occupy unique place among domestic livestock in India because of their high population, that is 148.88 million as per 20th livestock census 2019, which indicates 10.14% increase over the previous census 2012. Goat has ability to survive and produce under unfavorable climatic and management condition. So goat is considered as climate resilient animal. May I visible?
Yes, sir.
May I visible and audible? Slide is
Yes,
visible.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Audible also.
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay. Okay. So may I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Goat play an important role in food and nutritional security of the rural poor, especially in the rain-fed region where crop production is uncertain and rearing large ruminant is difficult due to scarcity of feed and fodder. In Maharashtra, goat population is 10.60 million as per 20th livestock census 2019, which is 7.12% of the national population. In Maharashtra, goat population increased by 25% over the last census, in contrast to 10% in national level increase of goat population. Maharashtra ranks 6th position in goat population after Rajasthan, West Bengal, UP, Bihar, and MP. Goat farming has several advantages over the husbandry of other livestock species. Those are as follows. Initial investment for starting goatry is lesser than dairy, piggery, poultry. Goat possess superior efficacy for transforming poor quality feed into milk, meat, and capable of selective browsing on undesirable vegetation. It does not compete with human beings for grains like pig and fowl, so feed cost is lesser. All of you know that feed cost in any class of livestock species mostly goes around 70%, but in case of goat, it is hardly 50 to 55%. Goat is prolific animal which usually produce twin, but some breeds produce triplet. For example, Black Bengal goat, Osmanabadi goat, then Konkon Cornell goat, all these breeds produce triplet. Goat being hardy animal, disease incidence is very less in comparison to cattle, pig, and fowl. Hence, health management cost is lesser. National milk yield from goat was 6.1 million ton as per FAO 2020, which is 3% of total milk production in India. Goat milk is rich in certain amino acids, for example, aspartic acid, histidine, phenylalanine, thiourine, certain minerals, calcium, copper, choline, iron, phosphorus, sodium, and vitamins like vitamin A, choline, and nicotinic acid. Goat is known as poor man's cows because its milk is wholesome and nourishing. It is considered especially for infants and aged persons due to easy digestibility, as size of fat globules in goat milk is lesser than that of cow milk. The casein of goat milk is also more easily digestible. Moreover, whereas cow milk is little bit acidic in reaction, goat milk is totally alkaline, thereby making it more useful in case of people having hyperacidity problem. As goat milk is rich in iron and copper, so suitable for women to overcome anemia, as it is rich in vitamin A, suitable to grown-up boys and girls to overcome night blindness. The children who have allergy for cow milk can consume goat milk without any adverse effect. It has also a lot of medicinal values. Goat milk is used to produce different products such as cheese, butter, ghee, sweet, yogurt, etc. Goat meat is very rich in protein, energy, and fat, and there is no prejudice about the consumption of goat meat. Best quality meat is obtained from a goat of age group 8 to 9 months. Of course, it depends on the breed. At this time, the dressing percentage of goat is observed to be 50 to 55%. In India, meat production from goat was 1.08 million ton as per 20th livestock census 2019, which is 13.33% of the 35% of the total meat production of India. Goat skin is of high values due to softness, durability, and flexibility. Goat skin is used to produce footwear, bag, wallet, belt, etc. Besides meat, milk, skin, here is another product obtained from goat. For example, gaddi, angora. The product's name is pashmina and mohair, which is high valued in international market due to its several uses. On an average, each goat produce manure at the rate of 500 gram per head per day. The mineral value of goat manure is also very high. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash content of fresh goat manure is 2.5 to 3.5%, 1.25 to 1.50%, and potash is 1 to 1.25% respectively, and used in the field for improving soil fertility and to increase productivity of crop such as vegetables, flowers, etc. Hence, goatary fits very well in the integrated farming system. About 70% of the landless agricultural laborers, marginal and small farmers in the country are associated with goat farming. It is not only an important source of income and employment generation, but also it is a vital source of animal protein for their family. So it indicates that goat is a potential animal for nutritional security, employment generation, economic gain, and livelihood. Next, environment and housing requirement for goat rearing. Goat is basically animal of arid and semi-arid region. So they prefer hot, dry climate than cold climate and moist climate. The climate of most part of the Maharashtra is hot and dry, so Maharashtra is suitable for goat farming. The temperature suitable for goat farming ranges from 25 to 40 degrees centigrade. Similarly, suitable humidity, optimum humidity for goat rearing is 20%. So from climatic and topographical point of view, whole Maharashtra is suitable for goat rearing. In India, in village condition, goat does not need any special shelter and are usually kept on kacha house with thatched roof. Goats, however, needs to be protected from drastic weather during peak summer, rainy, and winter. Because goats are susceptible to cold, hence should be kept in warm, dry places. Houses should be well ventilated with free access of sunlight, particularly during winter. Proper ventilation and good drainage are another important criteria for housing of goats. The purpose of ventilation is to provide the desired amount of fresh air to all parts of the shelter to maintain temperature and humidity within the desired limits. It is essential to remove excess moisture, excess heat in hot weather, foul odor, and toxic gases from animal waste like urine, feces, etc., so that animals stay cool, dry, and clean. Inadequate ventilation leads to several respiratory problems, such as pneumonia. It is therefore necessary to make the shed sufficiently high and make sure there are openings for ventilation in the roofs and walls. Hence, height of roof of the goat shed should be 3 meters at the periphery and 3.5 meters at the center for proper ventilation. The orientation of the shade is another important factor depending on the climate. In dry and arid region, one can prevent the entry of sunlight inside the shade for preventing heating up of the stall too much by placing the longitudinal axis of the shade east-west. Here I am showing two diagrams. One is shades in east-west orientation and another is north-south orientation. This is east-west orientation. This type of north-south orientation shade is suitable in temperate to subtemperate climate of hilly region. Next comes to roof. The roof provides protection from sun and rain and can be of different types, shade type, gables, and modified gables type. Slope is important in removing rainwater. Thatched roof needs greater slope than GI sheet. A roof vent is also important, which assist in ventilation in case of modified gable type of shade. Roofs generally made up of galvanized iron sheet corrugated iron sheet, tiles, asbestos, thatch grass, straw, etc. False ceiling may be done by particle board, and outer surface of the roof may be painted by white paint, white reflecting paint, to reduce summer heat stress on the animal inside the shed. This material should be chosen as per climate and economic condition of the farmer. The floor could either be packed earth, brick, concrete, or slotted as per economic condition and climatic condition of the area. Packed earth or concrete floors should be sufficient floor for drainage. In dry areas, a house with a packed earth floor can be used, since moisture buildup within the house would be minimal. In high rainfall, high humid areas, a raised floor house is advisable to keep animals clean and facilitate the removal of waste. Regular disposal of dung and urine is very essential to keep animal house hygienic. Adequate space should be given to each goat if maintained individually or group of 2 or 3 in a pen for proper growth and production. So floor space requirement is standardized in different institutes. For grower, finisher, adult buck and doe, breeding buck and pregnant doe is 1 square meter, 2 square meter, 3 square meter, 4 square meter, and 5 square meter per head respectively. Overcrowding should be avoided for proper growth and production. If the goats are housed in a group, a minimum of 2 square meter per goat should be provided. Goats managed totally indoor, totally intensively, an open EI, that is paddock, for roaming and exercise is required. An enclosure measuring 20 meter by 10 meter is adequate for stall-fed goats of 100 numbers for roaming and exercise. Such an enclosure or exercise paddock should be well fenced with strong wire mesh. There are 2 types of shed. Both are semi-open shaped. One is having feeding trap and central alley. These are the feeding traps. So feed are given outside, on the feeding traps are fitted in the alley. This is suitable in dry arid region, whereas this type of shed is the raised bed shed. It is suitable in high humid, high rainfall area. Here you see that from the lower part of the house, farmer can take the all pellets, feces, urine, etc., all waste materials, and he can put it in the pit for preparing compost or vermicompost manure for using in the field. And it also helps to keep the floor neat and clean. And so this type of shade is suitable in high humid, high rainfall area. This type of shade is suitable in dry arid region and other normal region where rainfall is medium to low. Next, the buck should be housed separately. A single stall measuring 2.5 by 2 meter with usual fittings for feed and water would be suitable for the bucks. The pregnant goats should be maintained individually to avoid fighting between themselves, as it may lead to abortion. Large scale producer needs to construct separate barn for different types of goat, that is breeding buck and doe, pregnant doe, growers, finisher buck and doe. Because from finisher buck and doe, finisher buck pen, finisher goats will go to market for selling. Isolation pen is very much important for keeping sick animals for quarantine purpose. Feed store is very important, because if you don't keep feed properly, there is every chance of aflatoxicosis, which leads to severe disease problem of animal. Then resting room for labor is also needed. You will find 2 goat shed, newly constructed goat shed by scheduled tribe farmer at Nandurbar district of Maharashtra, with the assistance of financial assistance of CINI. CINI, I think you might be knowing, it is the collaboratives initiative for livelihood improvement, one NGO that is an associated organ NGO of Tata Trust. So with the financial help of them, these tribal farmers, they constructed new goat shed. One shed having brick walls, another shed having concrete walls. Others here it is GI rods are used to hold the GI sheet roof. Here GI rods are used to hold the GI sheet roof. This farmer used net shed to protect from sunlight, etc. So both the sheds are very good semi-open type. There is no problem of ventilation, and floor in both the cases are concrete. So this type of shed they are using to maintain Osmanabadi goats. We have provided them. Afterward, I will come to that part, that we started we started livelihood improvement program of tribal and SC farmers in tribal area of Maharashtra and SC dominated area of Maharashtra by providing animals, etc. Okay, but here it is jointly it was done program here, that CINI is providing financial assistance to them, or we have provided goat feed, etc., feeder, waterer, but they have provided to financial assistance. They have provided at least 75% of the total cost of the shed. So in such way they are maintaining very nice flock. Next, this is few goat shed which are made low-cost goat shed which are made by locally available materials in Nashik district of Maharashtra. This is tribal dominated area, Gawan village under Pet taluka of Nashik. All the sheds are made up of bamboo, wood with tiles roof. In this farmer used GI sheet roof, etc. And these two farmers they used thatched grass to cover the roof, and floors in all the cases is earthen floor. Okay. So up to this, I have given some glimpses of the house requirement, housing material, orientation, ventilation, floor space. Huh? So whether people trainees are able to understand or anything, any confusion? Hello.
If you have participant, any question, any query, then ask.
If any confusion or otherwise, I will continue and I will go to the next part. Okay. Slides are visible na properly.
Yes, sir. Sure, sure.
And I am audible also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So if knows, I will take question at the end. Now I am going to the third chapter, that is feeds and feeding of goat.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Goats are, pardon.
Sir, no query, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So I'm continuing.
Okay.
Goats are browser in feeding habit. Hence, browser means they are actually, they prefer to take twigs, tree leaves, etc. from bushes, product trees or trees by putting their front legs on the tree and pulling feed and fodder, tree leaves, etc. That habit is called browsing habit, and that is goats' basic behavior is they are browsing habit rather than grazing animal. So they prefer shrubs and tree leaves to grasses and pasture. On an average, goat receive mixture of grass, fodder, tree leaves, shrubs, weeds, thorny plants, pods, etc. The dry matter requirement of goat is higher than cattle, sheep, etc. due to higher BMR. BMR means basal metabolic rate, and thyroxine production in goat. That is 4% of the live weight. In case of cattle, sheep, it is 3%, but in case of goat, it is 4% of the live weight. If sufficient browsing materials and trees, leaves are not available, cultivated fodder and grass such as paragrass, Brasheria mutica, guinea grass, Panicum maximum, these are the scientific name or botanical name, whatever may be. Onjan grass, marble grass, Dicyanthium annulatum, dustard grass, Desmanthus virgatus, hybrid napier, Penicetum purpureum, maize, Gia maize, Barsim, Trifolium alexandrium, Lucan, Medicago sativa may be used for maintenance and production of goat. These are the different perennial grasses. This is paragrass, guinea grass, marble grass, and this is mulberry. Sorry, this is Onjan grass. Sorry, this is Onjan grass. Out of these 4 grasses, Guinea grass have highest crude protein percent. CP means crude protein. Here crude protein 12.6%. Marble grass is poor in crude protein 9.8%. And Onjan grass crude protein is 11.3%. And paragrass is crude protein 10.2%. Only one thing is that paragrass is grown mostly in high rainfall area near pond, river, marshy land. But other three fodders, Guinea, Marble, and Anjan, they could be produced, they could be grown and fed to goats in dry arid region. There is no problem. But paragrass mostly suitable for growing in marshy land, high humid, high rainfall area. Leaves of different fodder trees such as subabul, Leucaena leucocephala, mulberry, Morus alba, Gladicedia sepium, Augusti, Sisbania grandiflora, drumstick, Shajna, जिसको बताते हैं, Moringa oleifera, different fruit trees like jackfruit, guava, mango, different other trees like banyan, ficus, bengalensis, babul, acacia, nilotica, neem, Azadiraca indica would be provided to goat. Goat prefers leaves of those fodder trees which are palatable, contains high crude protein, calcium, but low in lignin and tannin content. Biomass of dried up crops such as sorghum, maize, wheat, rice may be used as dry fodder to feed the goats. These are the different fodder trees which are being released. Those leaves of these fodder trees are released, prepared by the goats. First is subabul leaf. This is leaves along with pods. This is Agasti leaves. I think you might be knowing the scientific name Sisbania. Its scientific name is Sisbania. It contains very high amount of crude protein, 22.6%, followed by subabul leaves, 22.2%. Then comes mulberry leaves. Scientific name is Morus alba. Its crude protein 18.8%. Then comes Gladicedia leaf. Its crude protein around 15%. So all these tea leaves are released by goat, and it is being provided to the animals for feeding, for production, maintenance and production. In absence of good quality green fodder and tree leaves, concentrated mixture in the form of mash ration or pellet ration should be given to goats for maintaining production and health. Crude protein requirement of goat for maintenance is 14 to 15%. For growth and production is 16 to 17%. Crude fiber requirement is 7 to 8%. Ether extract 3 to 4%. Total ash 2 to 3%. And TDN is 60 to 65% of dry matter. Water requirement around 0.75 to 1 liter per head per day. Composition of feed would be maize crushed. Then for the sake of farmers, they might be knowing, they would like to know what feed ingredient should be used to prepare the 100 kilogram of feed. So this is the composition. Maize crushed 40%. Wheat or rice bran which is available to them, that can be utilized 20%. In case of wheat growing area, wheat bran may be used. In case of rice growing area, they can utilize rice bran. Then pulse chuni 10%, groundnut cake 20%, cotton seed cake 8%. In Maharashtra, this is abundantly available. So to reduce the feed cost, it is being used. But cotton seed cake contains one deleterious substance, that is gossipol. So its inclusion should not increase more than 15%. Therefore, we kept it at reasonable level of 8%. Mineral and vitamin mixture 1.5%, common salt 0.5%. If you add all this, it will come 100 kilogram. After preparing 100 kilogram in this composition, farmer can keep it in the gunny bag and they can utilize as per this requirement. Daily, twice. Generally, feed, concentrated feed or any feed fodder should be given in divided part morning, afternoon. Particularly concentrate. Concentrate supplement for grower is 100 gram per day. For finisher 150 gram. For adult 200 gram per day. For breeder 250 gram per day. And requirement for nursing or lactating doe should be 300 gram per day. Here one picture is showing goats are maintained in a row and they have been provided with the dry fodder. Supply of balanced and adequate quantity of feed at least before 2 months of feeding is necessary to reduce doe and kid mortality. As you know that in uterus, kids whatever nutrition they get from mother. So if mother is properly supplied with feed fodder, so that nutrient will go to the kids. So automatically kid mortality will come down. Any drastic change, feed, you can, farmer can change one or two feed ingredient, but it should not be done suddenly during pregnancy time. So it may leads to adverse effect. That's why it is told any drastic change of feed should be avoided during pregnancy. Other time it can be accommodated, but during pregnancy period, whatever feed is started to provide, that should be maintained. That composition should be maintained. Water, mineral, and vitamin mixture should be given in sufficient quantity. Its kids should be fed colostrum at least for 7 to maximum 10 days for the development of natural immunity, as colostrum contains immunoglobulin. At the age of 14 to 21 days, sufficient green and fresh soft grass should be available to the kids. Weaning of kids from doe should be done at the age of 45 days to make habit of taking solid feed by the kids. Feed must be stored properly prior to feeding to protect it from dampness, contamination, and vermin. Because if feed is damped, there is chance of molas growth, fungus growth, mold growth. So that is, and mold will produce aflatoxin, that is highly toxic, and that type of feed should never be fed to the animal, because practically there is no treatment, only supportive treatment is possible. So always you should think, you should keep in mind that feed should be stored in a place where there is proper air circulation, and it should be placed on a wooden platform at elevated place so that there should not be any dampness. So you can keep your feed properly. And whenever you are using feed opening gunny bag, after using it, you should tie it properly so that there is no chance of entry of moisture inside the gunny bag. And if you find at any times that feed becomes bolus form or ball form, that feed should not be provided to animals. Any change to the diet fed must be made gradually to enable the population of rumen bacteria to adjust. Water is one of the most important nutrient for health and production. So clean, cold drinking water in sufficient quantity should be available around the clock. Water should be changed twice to avoid contamination. Generally, farmers, they used to put water morning. So that is not the right practice. It should be changed afternoon, because throughout the day, during summertime, water in the if put in the morning, in afternoon it will be warm. And moreover, they put pellets in the water, so it becomes contaminated. So every day, 2 times water, fresh, cold water, clean, cold water should be provided twice in sufficient quantity. Water requirement, I already told, around 0.750 liter to 1 liter per head per day. So total, you first count the number of animals are there, and accordingly you multiply with 0.750 liter in case of finisher, grower, in case of adult 1 liter, like that. Regular grazing for 3 to 4 hours, that is morning and evening, is very important to get the grass ad libitum free of cost, and during grazing sufficient exercise for good health, reproduction and production is possible. So grazing is very important, because as we walk in evening and afternoon, so animal also should be allowed for grazing, but you should see they should not allow to graze during severe rain or during severe heat. It is preferable time is early morning from 7 to 9, or late afternoon from 5 to 7 or 8 p.m., whatever may be. If it is very much late in foreign countries, night grazing is a very common practice, but here it is not like that. There is every chance of theft, there is every chance of wild animal attack. So it is better to within 5 to 7 p.m., restricted within 5 to 7 p.m. Or if you go grazing during peak heat period, peak noon time, so there will be heat stress on the animal. which will hamper his growth and production. So preferable time of grazing is early morning and late evening. But it should be continued to get sufficient grass free of cost, at the same time sufficient exercise for good health, reproduction and production. In stall feeding goats, fodder crops or branches of fodder trees should be tied with a rope and allowed to hang from the roof at a little height of their mouth to create browsing environment, which will keep the fodder fresh and satisfy them also. Because what happened, farmers sometimes they put fodder on the floor, so it becomes dirty, it becomes um, contaminated with bacteria, virus, whatever may be, and sometimes they drop it on the fodder, so it becomes filthy and animal suffers from different problems, digestive problems, other problems. So it is, if it tied with a rope and allowed to hang from the floor, from the roof, so at a height that it should be around 1 feet above their mouth. So they will pull the fodder and they will consume it. It is their natural habit of the goat is the browsing time. So they will be happy to take it, and in that way fodder will remain fresh and non-contaminated. These are the different types of feeders developed at ICR, Central Institute for Research on Goat. This is hexagonal feeder. Here from both the sides animal can take concentrate feed, and in between dry and or green fodder may be put. They can plot it from both the sides. This is rectangular feeder. Only one side is used for putting concentrate feed. Here one locally made feeder by farmer. One farmer in Nagod district, he prepared with the plastic that drum, he cut it in 2 pieces, and indigenously he has fitted with a galvanized iron rod structure, and it is not bad. Animals are taking green fodder from both the sides. It is low cost and made by the farmer locally. These are the different fodders are being provided by the tribal farmers. All these pictures are taken from Nashik districts, where we adopted tribal farmers. We distributed animals to them free of cost. Here one farmer is providing jackfruit leaves. You will be happy to listen that jackfruit leaves, these leaves are very much relished by goats. And jackfruit leaves contains tannin, which helps to reduce methane production. So this helps in methane mitigation. So these leaves are being popularized in tropical and subtropical countries, African countries, to feed goats. Moreover, it contains good amount of protein also. This is one farmer has utilized for wheats, which is being produced in her land. She provided these wheats to feed them. One farmer produced Congo signal grass. He is providing here on the gunny bag. Simply after cutting, he provided it. One tumbler is kept for providing water. Another farmer provided fodder, that is hybrid Napier fodder he grown. So he provided in this type of feeder that is being generally utilized by vegetable sellers to keep vegetables. So this type of feeder also they have been using. So these are the different types of feed fodder being used by the scheduled tribe and scheduled caste farmers. Here one farmer, scheduled caste farmer in Nagor district, he is producing lucerne grass, lucerne fodder, better to say. It is rich. This is actually leguminous fodder. This is rich in crude protein. It contains more than 25% crude protein. Here another farmer also indigenously made feeder. Here he used that lower part with the help of shade net rather than plastic. Here another farmer produced Dasharat grass. It contains appreciably good amount of crude protein, around 10 to 11%. Here another farmer is producing azola and feeding his goats in tribal area. All this from Nandurbar districts. Here farmers are from Nandurbar district. These two farmers, scheduled caste farmers, from Nagod districts. Here you see sugarcane tops. It is not very much nutritious feed, but where it is abundantly produced, farmers is being using. It is actually, if sugarcane tops are being produced and fed regularly, animals suffer from mineral deficiency. So if it is fed, the practice is made, so you have to chop it properly, because otherwise they cannot, animal cannot take it properly. Moreover, you have to give mineral supplement, otherwise there is chance of reproduction problem. So sugarcane tops may be provided, but its quantity should be reduced. Then comes breeds and breeding of goat. Selection of buck and doe is important for selective breeding and obtaining maximum efficiency. Buck and doe should have strong, well-developed frame, good conformation and breed characters. Legs should be straight and well placed under the body. Goats should be healthy and free from external internal parasites. They should be chosen from good milking strain and should be the progeny of dams having good performance record. Doelings reach puberty by 7 to 8 months of age and usually bred at 9 to 10 months of age. At the time of breeding, they should weigh about 30 to 40 kilograms. If the doelings are not at an optimum weight, breeding should be delayed, since puberty is more dependent on body size rather than age. Means if animals did not come to proper weight, you should not go for breeding. There is less chance of conception, small size of the kids, birth weight will be lesser, so growth will be lesser in subsequent phase of the life. Estrus is the period when the doe will receive birth. Usually this period will last for few hours to 2 to 3 days, and it is characterized by frequent and insistent talking, tail wagging, pink color, as well as swelling of the vulvar region with a discharge. That discharge should be watery like clear discharge that indicates goat is in heat condition, stress condition. If the discharge is pus like, then it indicates there is some infection. A lactating doe during stress time, usually they reduce milk production. The period between stress is 17 to 21 days. To achieve the highest conception rate, it is best to breed the doe 12 hours after the onset of stress. The thumb rule is, if any goat, if farmer finds that his goat is in heat in morning time, he or she should go for mating in the afternoon. If any goat comes in heat during afternoon, he or she should go for breeding the next day morning. So more or less 12 hours gap is there to get maximum conception rate. This much gap should be given from stress to mating. Doe should be given a dry period of about 2 months. If dry period of 2 months is not being given, there is 65 to 75% of milk as much in the subsequent lactation as dose given in dry period. Suppose a doe is giving 2 liters of milk. If it is not being given, so milk yield, dry period of 2 months not given, so milk yield in the subsequent lactation will come down to 1.5 liter. The gestation period of doe is 150 plus minus 2. That is 148 to 152 days. In India, there are 39 recognized breeds of goat in India, out of which 4 breeds, namely Osmanabadi, Sangamneri, Berari, and Konkan are available in Maharashtra. These are the 4 breeds I am showing, not all breeds I am showing, only 4 breeds of Maharashtra. Osmanabadi, this is the best breed of the Maharashtra because it is dual purpose breed, both for meat and milk production, and this breed have highest twinning percent 65. This is the Sangamneri, this is small type breed. Its twinning percent is only 15 to 20%, and this breed is only for meat production. And this breed is a population is only 1,63,000, whereas in population of Osmanabadi goats around 36 lakh. This is the Berari goat. It is available in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra. Earlier breed is available in Sangamner, Tehsil of the Ahmednagar district, Pune, Nashik, etc. Berari goat is available in Vidarbha region. It is red in color. It is also for meat purpose. Here, their twinning percent is also good, very good, around 57%. This is Konkan Konnal goat. This breed has has capability of maintaining in high temperature, high rainfall area of Konkan region. They are peculiar. It's that they have black color and with white markings on the face, ear, at the abdomen and legs. They have very good twinning percentage, around 60%, but they are also for meat production. Health management. Maintaining, I am not going to disease, just only few tips for maintaining the goat in proper condition. Maintaining hygienic condition of goat shed is very important to keep disease at bay. So regularly disinfect drain, floor, feeder water at least once in a month. Provision of clean drinking water and uncontaminated feed is essential to reduce health disorder. Mold infested feed should never be fed to the goats to avoid aflatoxicosis. Deworming of animals should be done regularly at 4 months interval with broad spectrum enthelminting. That is thrice a year in the month February, June, and October. Time to time fecal examination of the feces is also needed to identify the internal parasite. Routine vaccination schedule should be followed. Goats should be vaccinated against PPR, ET, FMDHs, and goat pox. In case of outbreak, quarantine measures should be followed. This is the goat health calendar. Generally, 5 vaccine is being practiced. Most important is PPR, Pesti Despetis ruminant. It is a viral disease. It is also called goat plague. There is no treatment after occurring PPR. That's why best prevention method is the vaccination or immunization. Generally, it is being done at 3 months of age. Booster is not required. It should be repeated at 3 years interval. Our institute, ICR Research Group, developed the vaccine of this disease. Enterotoxemia, ET, it is bacterial disease. It should be vaccination should be done at 4 months. Its booster is needed after 3 to 4 weeks of injection. First injection, it should be repeated at every 12 months because immunization is for only 12 months. Foot and mouth disease, it should be started at 5 months of age. 3 to 4 booster is needed after 3 to 4 weeks of injection. It should be repeated at 6 months because immunity is for only 6 months. Hemorrhagic septicemia, it is bacterial disease. At 6 months of age, it should be started. Booster at after 3 to 4 weeks of injection. First injection, it should be repeated at every 12 months. Then come goat pox. It is a viral disease. At 7 months of age, vaccination should be done. Booster is needed after 3 to 4 weeks of first injection, and its immunity is very long duration immunity. I developed varicella vaccine, long duration immunity vaccine, and it may be continued up for 4 years. So after 4 years interval, you have to give goat pox vaccine. This is the vaccination schedule of animal goat. Then comes drenching, deworming, and dipping. Drenching of coccidiosis should be done. Medicine Amprolium. Deworming of endoparasitic infection should be done at 3 months of above. Generally, 2 dewormings is sufficient, pre and post monsoon. But if there is heavy parasitic load or extended rainy season, it should be done 3 times. I already told earlier at the time of February, in the month of June, before rainy, and after rainy in the month of October, it should be carried out. Generally, 2 broad spectrum medicine is being utilized, fenbendazole and levomethazole. Dipping for ectoparasite infestation, it is a great problem in case of cattle, buffalo, goat. Generally, it should be done at pre and post winter time. Cold, cloudy days should be avoided. In daytime, it should be done. It should be done as and when required. Besides treating animal, that goat shed or soil should be treated, because what happened after treatment of animal, that tick comes fall down on the floor, and it becomes there in different hole, etc., inside wall, breakage, etc. They hide it, and they after the dilution of the effect of the medicine, they again come out, and they again they flourish the animal, they affect the animal. So at the time of treating animal, you have to treat the total goat shed or cattle shed, whatever may be. And generally best medicine is new. Here I have not mentioned because all this ectoparasite medicine is toxic. So generally, with the help of veterinarians, you should use it. Sprayer can be used, and the neocidal, that is 0.2% you can utilize. Butox 0.1% you can utilize, but as these are toxic medicine, so proper care should be taken both by user as well as for animal. It should not enter in the mouth, nose, nostrils, or air, etc. So proper precaution should be taken. Biological control is there, and also herbal medicine is there that can be utilized for controlling acaricide problem. Now comes to economics of production. An estimate of goat farming has been prepared taking following assumption. Here I have considered 10 animals for Osmanabadi goat for 2 years. Entrepreneur has land, assuming that farmer have land for constructing goat shed for fodder cultivation grazing. Cost of buck and doe I have been considered. Semi-intensive system will be practiced. No labor is needed for grazing, feeding, cleaning, as farmer himself will provide the labor. Concentrate feed cost I have considered 3,500 per quintal. That locally available low-cost material will be utilized for construction of goat shed, and the rate has been considered rupees 100 per square feet. Fertility rate is considered 90%, and it is assumed that 50% doe will deliver single and 50% doe deliver twin. Mortality is considered 5%, insurance premium 4% of the animal cost. Selling price was considered here. Interest of loan will be paid at the rate of 12% per annum and will be paid in 2 installments. Now this is the economics of goat production for 8 females and 2 males. This is the non-recurring or fixed cost. Generally, on this cost, that loan is being given, cost of housing, cost of equipments, cost of animals, male, female total, it is coming 72,000. So on this basis, insurance premium will be considered 4% of 72,000 insurance premium. Feed cost was considered 3,500 per quintal. Medicine 200 for each. Insurance, interest of loan, first year 12%, and it was considered that 50% will be returned back. So next second year only 73,000 amount. Half of this is 73,000. So for 12% rate in 1 year, it is coming. So total expense, recurring expenditure is coming 1,07,160. So income statement, sale of parental stock, sale of, I'm not going very details, finisher goat, sale of grower goat, sale of gunny bag, sale of goat litter, total income coming 3,17,000. So net profit in 2 years from 10 goats is coming 2,09,840. So net profit per goat and per year, it has been divided by 20. 20 means first 1 year divided by 2, then again per animal divided by 10. So that's why it is divided by 20, it is coming 10,492. So this is net profit per goat per year. Besides that, farmer will have shared equipment. Their income is subject to change depending upon the prevailing situation, market price, etc. So it will vary. This is the livelihood improvement program, what we are doing under TSP and SCSP program. First, we go for survey for selecting farmers, then we provide training, then we request farmers to construct goat shed by renovate goat shed. In this way, we have adopted 90 ST farmers, 66 SC farmers. We have provided Osmanabadi adult goat, 1 unit, that is 1 male and 4 female of 11 to 12 months of age. We have given 200 kilogram pelleted goat feeder, waterer, fodder sapling, roofing material, and 2 kilogram mineral mixer free of cost for starting goat farming. These are the different activities. We, on the day of giving, we check their different documents, their caste certificate, because exclusively TSP for tribal farmers and SCSP program for scheduled caste farmer. So we verify their caste certificate, Aadhaar, and income certificate also for scheduled caste. BPL certificate, that is called. You will see that farmers are given feed and medicine. Here 2 farmers are showing their animals, those who have got it. This is in Nandurbar district. These 2 pictures is from Nashik districts. Then routine deworming and vaccination against enterotoxemia PPR was carried out. Regular monitoring of all goat units is done. Recorded body weight of grower goats, newborn kids, kidding type, milk heat of goat, checked health condition of the animals, interact with the farmers to ensure proper housing, feeding management. So far, whatever kits are delivered, out of this 30% was single, 63% twin, 7% triplet. It was observed that all goats are healthy and they are growing nicely. Their growth was found to be 110 grams per day. Around 40 to 50% farmer attain doubling of income in 3 to 4 years time. These are the different activities. Body weight is being taken. Here animal is fed with the anthelmintics. Here one lady farmer showing the potentiality of milk yield of Osmanabadi goat. Here one farmer showing their newborn kids. So conclusion, because it is running short of time. So goat farming is very good venture for sustainable livelihood improvement of rural poor. Necessary support is needed for availability of good germplasm, ensuring concentrated mixture, mineral mixture for enhanced growth and production, and timely deworming, vaccination, to reduce morbidity and mortality of goat. Farmers should be encouraged to produce feed and fodder for regular supply of green rapes to their stocks. Because if you don't provide sufficient green fodder, then your feed cost will go high. So that is very much needed. So those who have some amount of land, they have to produce feed fodder. Otherwise, if tribal farmers, what they have do in those areas, a lot of forest areas are there, they used to take them for grazing and they need their requirement, fodder requirement in such a way. Government agencies should make necessary arrangement for shelter, for slaughtering and marketing of live animals to stop exploitation of middlemen. What happens? Generally, middleman comes and after visual observation, they give a lump sum money. They never take the animal from the farmers on the basis of livelihood. That is the drawback. Therefore, the farmers in most of the times realize less amount of money by selling of animals. So, government agencies should take this responsibility for proper slaughtering, selling of meat, and hygienic slaughtering, hygienic selling of production of meat and selling and marketing of live animals on the basis of livelihood, not on eye observation, or they should, or to stop exploitation of middlemen, government has to take a step. Otherwise, farmers will always in loser. Regular training of marginal and small farmers, capacity building is needed for educated unemployed youths, interested people, goat lovers. Is to be arranged for scientific rearing of goat practice, management practice of goat, and upgradation of knowledge. So this is all about. Thank you. This is all about the my topics.
Thank
Now
you so much, sir. From
discussion.
the participant side, if you have any query, then you ask. Our expert is ready for to your replying your question. If you have any query, then unmute your. If you don't have any query, then
If
you can
anybody
put
any question, any confusion, you can free to ask. No problem.
I think, sir, no query and
No queries. Okay.
no
Okay. Okay.
confusion. And
Okay.
thank you so
Okay.
much, sir, and for
Thank
your
you. Thank you.
excellent session. Now
How to come out of the project sharing mode? So I am unable to see how to come out of the sharing mode.
you can close the
Stop sharing.
site.
Stop.
Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your excellent session.
Okay.
And
Okay.
now
Thank
we
you. Thank you. If it is benefited to farmers and entrepreneurs, I will be happy, and they are free to ask anything in future. Also, they can contact with our center. We can contact with me. My mobile number, email ID is also with them, with the organizer. So they are free to ask
yes, sir.
him afterwards also. No problem. Thank you, organizer. Thank you, all the trainees.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, okay, okay.
Now let's move on our second session. I am delegated to introduce Dr. Srikant, sir. As an assistant professor at the Department of Animal Genetics and Breeding, Veterinary College of Hassan, Karnataka, he will speak on breeding and feeding management and also discuss the economics of goat farming, including the cost-benefit analysis. Welcome, sir. Kindly bring your session. Dr. Srikant, sir. Am I
Yes, sir.
audible,
Am
sir?
I audible?
Okay, okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Kindly
Thank you,
bring your
sir.
session.
Thank you so much, sir. So, shall I start my presentation, sir?
Yes, sir. Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. Sir, is the slide visible?
Not, sir, not yet.
One second, sir. Sir, now?
Please, yeah, sir, sure.
It is visible, right, sir?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So shall I start, sir?
Yes, sure, sir, sure.
So good evening, all. I'm Dr. Shrikant Nodmani. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of AGB, Veterinary College, Hassan, Karnataka. So first of all, I would like to thank Meadow Agriculture for providing me an opportunity to act as an resource person for this 3 days training, workshop on scientific goat farming for sustainable livelihood. So I've been instructed to give my lecture on breeding and kidding management, followed by economics of goat farming. So in this presentation, I will be dealing with the introduction, with an overview of goat sector in India, distribution of goat breeds, traits of economic importance, breeding management of goats, followed by economics of goat farming. So the every part of goat farming, I hope in brief, it is already covered by Dr. Samir sir. So I was just observing the slides over there. So nevertheless, like in brief, in short, I'll be just moving on the slides. So these goats, they are said to be associated with humans for long back over 10,000 years ago, and they are said to be earlier domesticated, the first species. And they are known for their adaptability to the different environmental and climatic conditions, and hence they are dispersed all over the world. And they are said to be most beneficial in the world for providing meat, milk, fiber, fertilization, and the draft power. They are different from the other species by their size, shape, and the production types, and hence they are said to be the ideal species for providing or becoming an important resource for the poor farmers. So traditionally they were raised for milk and meat. So the goat meat is said to be like the most commonly consumed meat in the world, and it forms an excellent source of protein. And it has very few religious taboo. The meat is low in fat and cholesterol, and it is high in vitamins and minerals. So this goat meat has an ability for easier digestion, and its rich, complex flavor and the nutritional qualities has helped in emerging of the goat cheese industry. So advantages, we all know that it becomes like we can call these goats as a moving banks of the moving refrigerators. So farmers, when and then if there is any requirement of money, so they can sell these goats, and they are known to get adapted to the wide climatic adaptations. So hence they are called as 4 months cows. And because of their small size and their cost is relatively cheap when compared to the larger animals, and it becomes more suitable for home slaughter, sacrificing, and even giving the gifts. And they have the fast reproductive rate. And some of the disadvantages with goat farming is that, so these goats are inquisitive, means that they need proper fencing or a stable, or they are require the active herding to prevent the crop damage. And formal goat market chains is what we are lacking with respect to goat marketing. And small value make formal credit system, which is uneconomic. So, and mainly with respect to the diseases, so they are more susceptible to the respiratory diseases and the internal parasites. So nevertheless, with these disadvantages, So majority of the thing is will focus on the advantages of goat farming itself. So now coming to the overview of goat sector, which has been already covered. So we have the total livestock population of 536.76 millions, and India ranks first with respect to goat population in the world, followed by China, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Ethiopia. So and the total contribution of goat to the livestock population is around 27.8%. So we could markedly see an increase in the goat population from 47.2 millions in the year 1951 to 148.8 millions in the year 2019. So we could observe an inclination in the goat population. And these are the top major states with the highest goat population in India. Rajasthan being in the first place, followed by West Bengal, UP, Bihar, and other states. So statistics regarding meat and milk production with respect to goats, so we could see markedly increase in the meat production, that is the contribution by goat, and its contribution for milk production. So if we look into the economics part, so it contributes around 1.31 which is a huge contribution to the gross value production that we generate from the animal husbandry activities. So coming to the distribution of the goat breeds. So first we'll understand what is the definition of breed and variety and strain, and then we'll move on to what are the different breeds that we have, and later we'll discuss regarding the breeding management. So if you just look at the first image over here, so it is a image which has the goats with all the similar characteristics. All the goats, like if you see here, they have the same body color, their horn pattern is similar, right? So their body stature is similar. So we call breed as a specific group of domesticated animals which have the homogeneous appearance, and they should have the homogeneous behavior, and they are said to be grouped within the species. And they should belong to a particular geographical area, and they should have specific breeding tract. So this is the definition of breed. And then coming to variety. So variety is said to be the part of breed, or we call it a subdivision of breed. So usually with respect to goat, variety is defined as the subdivision of breed, which is distinguished mainly by coat color. If you look into the second image over here, so we can see the same breed is having two different coat colors over here. So such differentiation of within the breed, if we have separate groups, we call it as varieties. And strains, so within the varieties, we'll be having again the separate groups. For example, within this breed, so you can develop a particular group which will be having more body weight, and other group which will be having the increased milk production, or the other group may be having the more adaptability to the hot and humid climatic condition. So such further grouping is what we call it as strain. So always within the breed, we have the variety, and within the variety, we have the strain. So now, coming to the other definitions of the breeds. So we have one definition for the local breed. So the local breed is said to be it is specified to one specific country. If a particular breed is restricted or it has an origin from one particular country, we call it as the local breed. And the transboundary breed is the one. So these are the breeds that occur in more than one country. So again, in transboundary breed, so we have the regional transboundary breeds. So we all know that the world is divided into different regions. So if a particular breed is found in one specific region, we call it as the regional transboundary breed. And the international transboundary breeds means they are found in more than one region. Then coming to we'll see how goat breeds are distributed in India. So presently, if you look into the data of 2025 from NBAGR. So NBAGR is a national ICR institute which is located at Karnal. So it stands for National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources. which keeps the data and it tracks any data if you want to look over regarding the different breeds of the different livestock species. So it is the nodal agency that we are supposed to refer. So according to 2025, so India has around 41 recognized goat breeds. And these goat breeds, we divide that into two different categories. So we usually classify the goat breeds based upon their utility. It means so based upon their use, like meat breeds, so dual purpose breeds, that is which are used for both meat and milk and for hair fiber of the pashmina. Then goat breeds are also classified based upon the different agroclimatic regions that we have in Indian conditions, like the north temperate region goat breeds, northwestern goat breeds, eastern goat breeds, and the southern peninsular goat breeds. So if we look into the classification of the goat breeds based upon the utility, so around 33% of the total recognized goat breeds of India are of meat type. So some of the meat producing or the meat type of goat breeds are Assam Hill, Attapadi, Vidri, Black Bengal, Kodiado. And if you want to start goat farming, like if you are focused on both meat and milk, then these are the breeds of choice that you can opt, like Barbary, Beetle, Ganjam, Gohilwadi, Surti, Gujri, right? So these are the breeds which are meant for dual purpose. And these are some of the special group breeds, like which are mainly reared for pashmina, that is high quality hair or the fiber that we get from goats. So usually the goat breeds belonging to the northern temperate region, like Chankangi, Chigu, Gaddi, and Sli. So they are reared for the hair. So it depends on the choice of the farmer and the person who is starting the goat farm. So it is his choice whether like he need to start with the goat breeds which are meant for only meat production, or if he want both meat and milk, or he is raising only for the pashmina or the high quality of hair. So this is how we classify goat breeds based upon the utility or based upon the use. Then we'll see like how are the goat breeds actually classified into based on the different agroclimatic regions. So I said like the temperate Himalayan region, so which includes Jammu, Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and the hilly regions of UP, followed by the northwestern region, which includes the states of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and southern regions like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. Eastern regions like Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand. It means that goat breeds belonging to these particular regions, right? So we classify these goat breeds based upon the different regions. So these are some of the breeds that belong to like the different agroclimatic regions, like I said, the temperate Himalayan region. So usually like the high quality fiber producing breeds like Changtangi, Chigu, Gaddi, and Bhakarwali, they all belong to the temperate Himalayan region. Followed by the northwestern region like Beetle, Barbary, then southern region like Nandi Durga, Malbari, Osmanabadi, Sangamneri, Vidri, then eastern region like Black Bengal, Assam Hill, Teresa, Ganjam, and Jodi. Next, you look over here, like the majority of the breeds, like the most of the goat breeds have their origin or they belong to the northwestern region of India. Then coming to like the north temperate region, I said like so they are mainly used for producing the fine quality of hair here, like what we call it as the pashmina. So northwestern region, so mainly we have like their body size is large, so mainly they are used for the dual purpose. Like you can use them for both milk and meat. Then some of the breeds like Rohilkadi, Karoli, so as already discussed. Then coming to the southern region. So the southern region breeds are predominantly reared, like some of the breeds like Sangamneri, Osmanabadi, Malbari. So they are of dual type, but other type of breeds, so they are mainly used for meat production. So you can opt any of the southern region breed if you're focusing for to start the goat farming for the meat purpose. Then followed by the eastern region. So here also we have some of the meat breeds like the Black Bengal, which is said to be having the high prolificacy of 60 to 90%. So prolificacy is giving the multiple births. So Black Bengal is said to be one of the best meat producer with respect to goat breed. So the exotic breed, like even we have some of the exotic breeds. So one that was recommended for the Indian climatic condition was this Boer breed. So it belongs to South Africa, which is mainly introduced to our conditions just to improve the meat production in our local goats. So coming to the characteristics of these Boer breed, so if you just look over here, so the coat color is usually white with the brown head. So Boer male, so the weigh around 110 to 135 kgs, that is male, and the females around 90 to 100 kgs. So if you can just see they're very large breeds. So they were recommended for upgradation or for improving our local breeds. Right? And also the average daily gain is over 200 grams per day. So with all these advantages, so they recommended Boer for using for even crossing the non-descriptive goats of our native goats. Then coming to the tribes of economic importance. So the concept of understanding the tribes of economic importance is that, so these are the tribes which fetches like the commercial value to the farmers. Right? So we need to look into some of the traits or the characters in these goats, so which gives high value or high returns to the farmers. So we'll see what are the different economic traits of importance we have with respect to goats. So we need to look into the age at first kidding, then the lactation length, then the lactation milk yield, then the kidding interval, then birth weight, weaning weight, growth rate, mortality percentage, then the fiber yield, that is the pashmina yield, and the fiber diameter. So these are some of the traits that you would need to improvise, or you need to look into these goats, so which gives the high economic value to the farmers. So hence they are said to be the traits of economic importance, or the characters of economic importance. Then coming to the breeding management of goats. So there are some factors that you need to consider whenever you are selecting the breeding stock. So breeding stock, it refers to the best selection of male and female parents here, right? Because it all depends on selecting the male and female stock. We select the stock to get the good offspring, or to get the good young ones, right? So we all know that, like the parents pass on their good genes to the next generation. So if you won't select the good parents, that is good male and good females, then automatically like we won't be getting good offsprings there. So hence you need to consider some of the factors while selecting this breeding stock. So selection of the breeding stock is what we call it as the breeding management of goats. So you need to look into the type of production system that you are following, whether it is an intensive system or semi-intensive system or the extensive system. And it also you need to look into the breed that you are selecting, right? So the type of breed that you are selecting, then you need to look where the farm is actually located, because some of the breeds, they will not be suitable to all the climatic conditions. So for example, like if you bring these the north temperate region breeds to hot and humid climatic conditions, so they will not survive. So this is how you need to select, looking into the climatic conditions and looking into the market type. In your area, if you don't have the demand for the goat milk, but if you have the demand for the goat meat, then you can opt for selecting the goat breeds which are involved in the high meat production rather than selecting the milch goats. Right? And you also need to look into the economic factors, the breeds which are giving the highest yield and their feed utilization efficiency, their growth rate, right? So considering these traits will help us in like encountering the losses during the goat farm. So these are some of the factors that we are supposed to consider while selecting the breeding stock. Then, what are the different points that we need to consider when we are selecting the animals for breeding? So first we'll see like what is the age group that we need to look for getting the like the immediate income on it. So we need to purchase the goats with 2 dental ages. So the 2 dental ages means, so usually the age of the goat will be between 1.5 to 2 years. So this will be an ideal age to select or to bring the animals from market. And usually the does. So does we call it as a female goat is called as doe, and a male goat is called as buck. Right? So if I'm using the terminology doe, it refers to female goat. Buck, it is a male goat. So how a female goat should be selected? Right? So the age group of 1.5 to 2 years should be given the priority for selection. So usually it should have the long and low set body. So if you just look over the confirmation of the body condition over here, so it should be long and it should be low set body, right? So it should have the roomy hind quarter. So the hind quarter should be well developed here, and it should have a well formed udder. So if you just look over here, it should have the well formed udder. It should have the active foraging habit and good mothering instinct, or it should have the good mothering ability. It means that, so once the doe is having the kids, so once the parturition will happen, so it should be a good mother. It should have the ability to take care of its kids. So this is what we call it as good mothering instinct. Then it should have it means that the does with the poor milking capacity, like the short jaw, the broken mouth, or the blind teeth, and the defective udder, they should not be selected as a breeding stock. So you should avoid such goats, so which won't have the proper teeth openings, or those with an extra teeth. So those with an underdeveloped udder, and any deformity, either it is a physical deformity or the genetic deformity, should not be selected as a parent. So we should not give preference for such deformities. And wide roomy hind quarter with good space between the inner aspects of the two thighs provides some proper space for the future development of udder. So this is the reason, like it should have a proper spacing between the thighs with respect to females. Then coming to some of the points that which we need to consider when we are selecting the male goats here or the bucks here. So usually the males that have the good body condition or good masculinity or the good libido and the strong legs, and it should be free from any of the defect. It means that it should not have any defect with respect to the mouth here, or the what we call it as the cleft palate condition, that is deformity with lips or deformity with respect to legs. So all these will be a genetically related defects. So you should avoid such quality conditions in male. And bucks, not cryptorchic. It means that it should have both the testicles intact. So both the testicles should be intact and should be clearly visible in the intact scrotum. And we should not purchase these either males or females from the local markets, or what we call it as the local sandys, because usually like the one with the diseased conditions or with the deformities will be brought to the market, and in very we have very less probability of the chances to get good animals from the market. So always it's better to select or the purchase animals from a well-established farms or from the farmers who is having like the good breeding stock. Then those females, so which have 2 or kids, which have already 2 or given like 2 kiddings. So those should be given preference for selection. And the skin should be soft and they should have the shining coat. So which directly indicates the health of the animals. Right? So the coat should be shiny and it should be free from the any of the skin diseases or the abnormalities. So these are like some of the criteria. So usually the breeding dose, like when to select the breeding dose, so the fit for mating or the breeding. So usually the 18 to 24 months of age is the criteria. That is almost like 1.5 to 2 years should be given a preference with a good body condition. So what if we select like an early aged dose, like the young dose if you select. So usually it leads to like the increased weakling and it leads to the death of more of the kids. So it will not be reproductively active. It not be at will be having the developed reproductive organ set. So always for breeding dose, it's better to select the age of 1.5 to 2 years. And these males with the poor libido, they should not be given a preference. Now, understanding some of the reproductive parameters of the goat, like when the goats will actually attain the age of puberty, that is the age of sexual maturity. So usually the males will attain the faster age of sexual maturity when compared to females. So it is between 7 to 10 months of age, what we call it as the age of sexual maturity in case of goats. But the optimal age for breeding. So when we need to use them for mating purpose or the breeding purpose it is in the age range of 10 to 15 months is what the proper breeding age we call. So coming to the estrus period, like the total estrus period is of 21 days duration. It means that for every 21 days, the female goats will come to estrus or they will come to heat. And once they come for estrus or the heat, so the estrus period, it lasts for 24 to 48 hours. So it is in this duration that you need to allow the female goat to mix up with the male goat for the successful mating. Right? And the male and the female ratio, that is, we call it as the sex ratio. So understanding the sex ratio is very important for the effective management of the goat farm, because always it is 1:20 to 25. It means that if you have 20 to 25 females in your farm and one male goat is sufficient. So this is the male to female ratio. It means that one buck or one male goat has the capacity to breed with 20 to 25 females. If you keep more number of males, so it leads to like you need to spend more money on feeding these bucks, because the feed requirement of these bucks will be higher when compared to the females. So the ideal sex ratio for the economical benefit is that you need to maintain 1:20 to 25. So the length of pregnancy, like the gestation period. So usually it ranges between 144 to 152 days with an average of 150 days. So after kidding, so again, the goats will come to heat after 21 days of parturition or giving birth. Then we'll see like what are the heat signs or the estrus sign that we need to see in case of female goats, like how to identify goats that they are in heat or that they are in estrus, right? So usually the female goat, that is doe, it will be receptive to buck. It means that those female goats which are in heat or which are in estrus, so they become receptive to the males. They become receptive to these bucks, and they will be having the solan and rotund vulva, that is the female reproductive organ. So if you look into the organ, so it will become inflamed or it becomes swollen, and it will have the reddish coloration here, and we get the whitish mucus discharge here, right? And the female goat in heat, it will be continuously shaking its tail. We call it as tail wagging, which is one of the sign of estrus, and it tries to mount on the other animals. So it will just keep on mounting with the other animals and it will be seeking buck, and it will be continuously bleating. So continuously bleating, it means that it just keep on like making sound. So it will just keep on like it will make more sound. So which we, it does it in calling the male goat usually. We call it as continuously bleating. So these are some of the signs that indicates that the female goats are in heat or in distress. Then we'll see what will be the buck behavior towards the female goats when they are in heat, right? So what the male will do is, so whichever the females are in heat, so the males will start sniffing the vulva. So because of this hormonal variation or the pheromones release, so the males will get attracted towards females for mating. So the males start extending their neck with the curling of upper lip. So if you just look over here, so this is what we call it as extension of neck and curling of upper lip. So if you can just look over here, so the upper lip, they will just start like curling it or making the movement. We call it as the Flehmen response, what we observe in case of males. Then biting the side of the doe. So if you just look in this image, the male goat will start biting the females here. It means that they will identify the females that are in heat. Then it will paw the doe, raising and lowering one of the front leg and in a stiff leg condition, striking the motion. So it means that, so with one of the leg, the forelimb, it will just start striking the females, and it will successfully mount and mate the females that are in estrus. So these are some of the male behaviors towards the females which are in heat. So these signs we should be able to recognize, because if we fail to recognize the females which are in heat, so it becomes difficult for undergoing the successful mating in them. So these are knowing the stress signs in both males and females is very important. Then how to identify and we use males usually here, even to identify the females in heat, like we use the other techniques like using the intact male. It means that, so if you allow male to the herd or where only females are kept, right? So because of the pheromone reaction or because of the inbuilt instinct of the male to identify the females, so the male will directly identify the female which is in heat, as already discussed earlier. And we use a concept called as the teaser buck here. So teaser buck is the one which we'll be using an intact male here, which is fitted with the apron. So if you just look over here, we'll tie apron to its neck, such that its reproductive organ should not be allowed for the successful mating. So the teaser buck is just used to identify the female that is in heat, right? So again, once we identify the females in the heat, so you can separate those females and you can mate them with the desired ram, or with the desired buck you can mate them. So this is what one of the method, what we call it as the teaser buck method. And then we have, you can even use the cryptorchid bucks, or those with the those have the deformity with respect to the testicles, right? So they have the ability to detect. So once they detect the female, so you can separate them and the mate with the males. Then coming to the different methods of mating that we usually follow with respect to goats. It means that, so once the females are identified, right, those which are in heat, then which are the different mating methods or the crossing methods you can call, or the breeding methods that we usually follow with respect to goats are. One is, we call it as hand mating. So a hand mating is a type of mating where the does are allowed to mate one by one. So usually what happens here is, so the bucks are not allowed to mate more than 3 does per day. So those once you identify the females in heat, so you'll just send them near male, and male will successfully mate the females. So with the condition that, so the male should not be allowed to mate with more than 3 does in a day. Right? Then the merit is that, so you can ensure the expected time of kitting. So once it is confirmed that it has undergone the successful mating, so then we can easily identify that when it will parturiate. So we can have a proper recording system here, right? And then the second type of mating is what we call it as the pen mating. So pen mating is nothing but, so the does with the batch of 20 to 25, right? And the bucks are allowed to flock only during the night time. So what we do is, here the males and females will not be kept in the same pen or in the same herd. Only during the night time, what we do is we allow the buck here to stay in their pens, and those in heat, they will get successful mated here. So this type of mating is what we call it as pen mating. And then comes the flock mating or the pasture mating, where throughout, like in all the time, in day and night, even we just put both males and the females together in a flock. So whichever is in heat, so the male will just go and mate it naturally, right? So this is what we call it as flock mating. And then comes the artificial insemination, which is like nowadays we all know, like usually like in the large animals like cattle and buffaloes, we use the concept of this artificial insemination, right? So nowadays even it has become more popular with respect to goats and sheep. So artificial insemination is one of the technique where it helps us for successful mating. So these are some of the mating designs of the mating plans that we have for goats. And now I will see like what are the different managemental methods that we have to increase the rate of breeding or to optimize this breeding interventions. So we have some of the managemental methods. So one is called as estrus stimulation. So estrus stimulation is one of the natural instinct here, where the vasectomized males, it means that the castrated males are allowed into flock, right? So once they are allowed into the flocks, so after 10 days to 2 weeks before breeding, we need to allow a male to the flock, right? So we call it as a male effect. So once the male enters the female flock, so we have observed that, so large number of the females will come to heat and they will ovulate and they will conceive. This is what we call it as a buck effect also. So this method is what we call it as estrus stimulation. It is all the game of hormones. So once the females are brought near the males, so all of a sudden there is changes in the hormonal level, and it helps in like the estrus stimulation in case of females. So this is what we call it as the estrus stimulation. Then comes the estrus synchronization. So synchronization is one of the reproductive management or the reproductive technology that we usually adopt to bring all the females to heat. It means that at the same time, all the females, we can bring them to heat or estrus. So again, it is a game of the different hormonal injections or the different sponges or the medications that we usually follow. So estrus synchronization is nothing but where large number of does come to heat at a time, right? So this will reduce the cost of artificial insemination or the natural breeding. So once all the goats will come to heat at a time, so it becomes easy for us to mate them. So once they are successfully conceived, so we'll get more number of kids at time. So we'll be having the uniform flock of kids, which will be easy for us to rear them, and it will help us for easy marketing, which fetches us more prices, or it gives us more income. Then we have the other management practice called as a telescoping effect. So which we also call it as a buck effect. So it is nothing but introducing the buck after keeping it away for 2 to 3 months, right? So we'll not be allowing a male here. So estrus stimulation and telescoping effect are almost the same kind of thing. So all of a sudden, the males will be separated for 2 to 3 months. So no male will be allowed in the female flock. So all of a sudden, the male is allowed to the female flock. So this stimulates the females, and around 70 to 80% of the dose, all of them will come to heat. And then the fourth method we have is the hormonal method. So in hormonal method, like we inject or we give the supplements that are rich in the progesterone hormones or the analogs. So usually you can give them as feed supplements, or you can implant them in the vagina using the vaginal sponges. So which will be having these progesterone hormones. The reason behind using these vaginal sponges that are impregnated with the progesterone is that, so it prevents the prematuration of the ovulation action. So which controls the release of hormone, and it allows all the animals to come to heat at once. So this is the role of the progesterone hormone. And we also give the injection of PGF2 alpha or the analog of it. So at an interval of 10 days. Right? So once we give this PGF2 alpha, so within 3 days now, that is within 72 to 96 hours, all the goats will come to heat. The role that the PGF2 alpha is playing here is that it suppresses the corpus luteum. Right? So this suppression of the corpus luteum, it will lead to the lower production of the progesterone in the body. Right? So hence it helps goats to attain, to come back to heat at once. So this is like the role of the progesterone and the PGF2 alpha that we usually follow, what we call it as the hormonal method. So these are some of the managemental methods that we follow in an organized goat farm. So this will optimize the breeding. Then how to care and manage these breeding bugs. So once you select the male stock, the breeding bugs, so how we need to like manage them, or how we need to care them. So it is a well-known fact that, so usually like these males, they come to like they become fertile at an early age when compared to does. And they should be raised separately from does in order to avoid the unplanned mating. And they should be kept in a good condition with the extra supplementing feed. So these bucks which are meant for the breeding purpose, right? So you need to select those male which have horns. Right? So usually the polled males, or what we call them as the males without the horns, you should not select them as the breeding stock, because there is every chance there is a genetic connection over here. So usually those male stock which are not having horns, they are known to have a condition called as hermaphroditism. So this hermaphroditism is a condition where a particular male will be having the chance of having both the the reproductive organs. So it will not be a fertile. Right? So always you need to give a preference while selecting the males which have the horns. So with the horn condition, it is a better option to select them. And those like the bucks which have the birth weight of more than 2.5 kgs should be given preference for selecting them as the breeding bucks. So you need to look into the records or the data of the particular farm. So those with the birth weight of more than 2.5 kgs, you should select them. Then heavier and fast growing bucks. So usually those have the twin births. So you need to select those goats. So with an intention that, so that the twinning rate can be increased in the further aspects. So so usually, like if you feel like, so some of the males which don't have the superior qualities in them, so you can directly go for castrating them. So this avoids the unnecessary nutritional burden on those the owner, right? So you can, if you once castrate them, so they will be having the increased body weight, and you can use them for the meat. So you can just sell them. Then you need to give the high quality forage, legumes, so which helps in gaining the good body weight. right? And the buck pen or the place where these bucks are kept. So usually the floor should be dry. So it should be a ventilated area, and you should regularly trim the hooves of these bucks. So these are some of the managemental conditions that we need to follow for the breeding bucks. Then we'll see like what are the managemental factors or the conditions we need to follow or we need to use for rearing or for raising these breeding goats or the female goats. So usually we need to give the proper adequate nutrition. Right? So when you give the proper nutrition, so it leads to the faster growth and it prepares it for mating. So which increases the fertility rate and even the chances of twinning. Because we all know the good nutrition is the main key role for any of the successful farming sector. So if the doelings mated at the very young age, right? So if you select or use them for mating at less than 8 months of age and at the less than 60% of their adult body weight. So it leads to the stunted and the poor reproductive performance. So still they won't be ready for the breeding activity. Right? So always you need to prefer more than 1 year or 12 to 18 months of age. So because with the intention that, so these well-managed does, so if you manage them properly, then the does will be having the ability to produce the kids or produce their eggs for up to 8 years of their age. Right? So hence the proper management of those is very important to get the good production from them. So we can get kids up to 8 years of their age. Right? So only mature does should be given preference to mate when they are in heat. So presence of buck in the flock, it usually triggers the heat. So that's what we have already discussed. Right? So before mating, so once you select the proper female stock for mating, so you need to give proper nutrition. I said like you need to supplement them with the good minerals like zinc and manganese here. So these have like effect in improving the fertility rate in case of goats. And we need to immunize goats with some of the vaccines like ET vaccine and other diseases. And regular deworming should be done to tackle the issues that we usually get with the attack of these internal parasites like the roundworms. So the doelings with the good threads should be kept as a replacement. Right? So always you need to have the proper replacement stocks in order to avoid the losses. Then flushing is a concept of giving the extra concentrates to the does and doelings usually before breeding. So for 3 to 4 weeks, what we do is we give the extra concentrate feed just to increase the reproductive performance. Right? So this will increase the ovulation rate, and it also increases the number of twins and triplets here, and it decreases the early embryonic mortality. So this is the concept of giving the extra concentrate. So usually around 250 grams of concentrates or 500 grams of good quality legume or hay per head should be given, which has proven that it has increased the kidding rate by 10 to 20%. So this concept of giving the extra nutrition or the extra concentrate is what we call it as flushing in case of goats. Then how we need to care these pregnant animals. So usually we need to we should not frequently handle these pregnant goats because they may become anxious or they may not be comfortable if frequently the human beings will handle these pregnant animals. So this should be avoided, right? So those does or the females in the advanced stage of pregnancy, they should be separated from the flock because we need to give extra care, right? So we need to give the effective care. So hence, the females usually in the advanced stage of pregnancy, they should be separated from the flock. And as said, you need to feed the extra feed, what we call it as the flushing. For 3 to 4 weeks, we need to give the extra concentrates. So still it is partial. So still it is giving birth, right? Then inadequate and the poor nutrition, it leads to pregnancy toxemia, abortion, and the premature birth of weak kids. So said like the proper nutrition should be maintained for this pregnant does, right? So before 4 to 6 days of parturition, right? So we need to give up like a separate partition, right? So individual landing pen, the kidding pen should be given here with the soft, clean bedding material, right? So and we need to protect these pregnant animals from harsh and humid climatic conditions. So neither it should be more hot condition or more chill weather. So you need to provide proper housing facilities for the pregnant animals. So this is how you need to take care of the pregnant animals. Then kiddings. So once like the parturition is done or once the kidding is done, right? So usually the females will have, like now we'll see like how you need to care these kids or how we are supposed to care these animals. So those have the mothers have the natural ability to lick their kids and remove the extra membranous cover on the newborn babies. So this leads to the early driving and sensitizing and stimulating the kid. Right? So it has to remove the extra membrane that it has near the nostrils, that is nose and mouth, because it will help in the breathing. And it also attracts the newborn with the mothering instinct towards the adult. So the mother will guide the young one to get attracted towards the other area. Right? So it will start licking the kid such that it should develop an instinct to start feeding on the mother, to start getting dependent on the mother. Right? So if the mother is not doing that, then the owner has to interfere here in removing the extra membranous attachment from the face, nostril, eyes, and mouth. Right? So you should properly clean the young one that is born, and he should cut the navel cord. So 1 inch, leaving the gap of 1 inch from the abdomen area. We need to cut the navel cord using the new sterilized blade, and after it is cut, so we need to apply the tincture iodine, because this is a very important managemental step that we need to follow. So if you not do that, so it will lead to the navel ill condition. So where there is every chance that the navel area may be having the high chance of getting infection, right? So we need not leave the navel cord hanging. So this attracts the crows, birds, and even the cats here. So there is every probability or the chance that the young ones may be attacked by dogs and cats. Right? So we should see that the kids should suckle within 20 minutes of birth. So because we know the concept of colostrum, right? So colostrum will be having the good source of vitamins and the immunoglobulins, which actually will be required by these kids. So we need to look over that. The kids of the young ones should start suckling the mothers within 20 minutes of time, which is actually required for developing the immunity in the young ones. So they should consume milk, or the first milk, what we call it as the colostrum. Then the dose, immediately after giving birth, so they should be given with the warm cereal meal. That is the gruel drink. So the soft drink, so which is rich in the cereals, should be supplemented to the mother. After first 1 to 2 hours of parturition, we call it as a very critical period or the vital period. So within this period, that is after 1 hour or 2 hours of kidding, so the kid should start having bond with their mothers. If not, then it is difficult for the kid to get adjusted with the mother. Right? So the dose with the newborn should be kept in a calm place. So we should not have much disturbance. So you should take care that they should be kept away from the attack of stray dogs and other animals. So these are some of the care or the managemental practices that you are supposed to follow after kidding, or you need to focus on managing these young ones. And then importantly, coming to the economics of goat farming. So economics of goat farming here, like already in the last presentation, in brief, sir has focused on the project report of goat farming. So in this part, so I will be more discussing on the economics of goat farming here. That is, the economics of goat farming is nothing but it deals with the preparation of the project report And you need to understand what exactly is this project report, why we require this project report actually. So most of the times you might have been facing some difficulty, like how to prepare this project report. So why this project report is required. So whom we need to approach for getting the project report, right? And what are the different parts, or what are the different inclusions does the project report will have. So all those entities will be discussed here. So a project report is nothing but it is a proper document actually. So it is a comprehensive document that outlines the proper planning, execution, analysis of the livestock-based enterprise, such as dairy farming, goat rearing, poultry, sheep farming, pig, right? So it is nothing but it is a comprehensive document, right? So which has all the entities, like it has the information like how to plan the new establishment of the farming, then execution and analysis of the different livestock-based enterprises. So it provides the technical, financial, and operational details of the project, which is aimed at evaluating its feasibility, profitability, and sustainability. Right? So a project report is just a document which includes the aspects of the technical, financial, and the operational details of a particular livestock enterprise. Right? So now we'll see like why we require this project report. So what is the reason, like why we need to take this project report is to plan systematically. It means that it helps in organizing all the aspects of the livestock project, that is from breed selection to marketing. So it will be having the details. It helps us in understanding like which breed we need to select, what all the expenses we will encounter during the particular farming entities, right? So it helps us for proper planning actually. Then if you want any financial supports from the banks, right? So if you want any subsidies, or if you want to opt these schemes that are announced by the government levels, so it is a mandate that you require a project report. So the bankers or the bank peoples will ask you this project report. So it is in that situation, when you require this project report, right? And if you want to assess the profitability, right? For example, if you want to understand the cost benefit analysis, so whatever the investment that you are doing and whatever the returns that you are getting, right? So whether your firm is in a profit mode or if you are in a loss mode, right? So this project report will help us in assessing this profitability, or what we call it as the financial assessment can be done using this project report. And also the project report will help us in the scientific management of the firm. It helps us in understanding the estimation of the resource needs. Like it will give an idea regarding the lands, the labor requirement, the requirement of the feed, medicine, and the infrastructure that you need to develop for the successful livestock enterprise. Right? It helps us in identification of the risk, and it forms as a legal and the formal document. Right? So as said, if you want any financial support, it is the project report that you require. Right? So these are some of the conditions, or these are some of the reasons like why we need this project report. Right? Now we'll see like what are the inclusions of the model project, or the model project report should have. So I said like it should have the objective, like what is the objective of your farm, whether you are rearing it for meat purpose, milk purpose, or the dual purpose. So it should have the clear-cut objectives of your livestock setup, right? So it should tell what is the need or what is the background of the project. It should include the location. So where exactly will your farm will be located, or where it will be started. It should have the livestock details. It should clearly tell like which species it is, whether it is a cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, poultry. It should have the clear indication on the housing and infrastructure. It should have the feeding plan, breeding plan, health care and the veterinary care, the labor management, that is the manpower, the cost estimate. It should have the details of the income and profit, the cash flow and the loan, and it should throw some important highlights even on the risk management. I mean to say that a proper model project report will have all these entities covered in it. Then only we call it as a model project report. Then who all can prepare the project report, right? If somebody want to know like from where we need to get these project reports, right? So a project report can be prepared, or an entrepreneur or even a farmer can prepare a project report by himself, or he can contact the subject matter specialist of multidisciplinary subjects like the scientists or the professors or the veterinary doctors from the field of veterinary or the agriculture department. So you can get the project reports done from them, or any of the government agencies like the animal husbandry department, the agricultural departments, then from the livestock consultant, or from any of the research institutes concerned with the livestock industries. Then even the banks, or even the banks will provide you the project report, or you can get it done from the NGOs, the cooperatives, or the self-help groups, and even the technical aspects of those who write the project. So it is with these different agencies from where you can get the project reports. And then coming to the important parts of project, it means that so the bank demands, if you want to go for any of the financial seeking any of the financial support from the banks, right? So the model project report should have these three entities in it. We call it as the parts of the project reports, right? So the first part should include the non-recurring expenses here. The non-recurring expenses is also called as the capital cost or the investment cost. So it is the detail of those expenses which will not be repeating in the further go, right? So in detail, we'll be seeing in the next slide. And then comes the recurring cost, what we call it as the working capital. So these are the expenses which will be keep on repeating in your forms. And then comes the returns. So returns will give you an idea regarding your investment, how much amount you have invested, what is the total expenditure, and what is the total actually the benefit that you are getting here. So this portion is what it deals with, actually the gross profit here. So these are the three entities that a proper project report should have. So I said, like, what are the different non-recurring costs that we usually we need to invest upon, right? Or we call it as the asset cost or the capital cost. So purchase of animals. So every year, like once you invest on the purchasing the animals, then goat shed construction, then fencing. So you need to invest on water supply setup, then feed and water traps, farm equipments and tools, feed storage rooms, the different veterinary expenses, one-time insurance, then miscellaneous setup, right? So these are the expenses that you need to put on these entities, so which we call them as the non-recurring cost or the capital cost. Then we'll see what are the recurring cost. So recurring cost is also called as the working capital, right? So you need to regularly invest on feed and fodder, right? So once you construct the goat shed, so again you need not to invest on goat shed, right? So hence it is called as non-recurring cost here. But regularly you need feed and fodder, and you need to pay for the labors. You need to pay the electricity and the water bill, and we have the different maintenance issues. You need to pay the insurance premium. Then there are different breeding expenses. Then there are transportation expenses and some of the miscellaneous expenses which cannot be identified. So all such are the recurring cost we call them. So which you need to regularly put expenses on these areas. Then so we'll in a lighter part. So we'll just see like how exactly the goat project will look. Right? So like like I have prepared the goat project for 50 does and 2 bucks here. Right? So this is the project which involves 50 females and 2 males. So at the start of writing any of the goat project, right? So you need to tell what all the assumptions that you have made here, right? So a technical person will give a note on these assumptions. So the assumptions usually includes that it will be having the detail of the breed that the project is based upon, right? So we'll write it like the adult healthy does and bucks of Black Bengal breed. So within 2 years of age were purchased. So it will be purchased. So it means that you are purchasing those goats which is belonging to the Black Bengal breed with the age less than 2 years of age, right? And the manure that is produced in the farm will not be counted in the returns. So we'll be just using it for the own purpose, that is for fodder production here. So in case of death of the adult goats, so new animals will be purchased from the insurance claim money. So the above project will be economically viable under proper care and attention of the entrepreneur. It means that, so whatever the project report that a particular technical person will be giving, so it doesn't mean that it will always give you an profit. So it will give you the profit only when it is properly managed, only when the owner will properly manage these goods. Right? So the other assumptions can also be included, but some assumptions is mandate that has to be included in the project report. Then coming to the techno-economic parameters. So we look into the different techno-economic parameters that we are supposed to look here. Like you need to mention which breed, so what system of rearing you are using here, whether it is an intensive, semi-intensive or extensive. It will have the detail of the number of does and bucks here, then the age of maturity, kidding, the number of kids, then the kidding percentage, then the average litter size, the sex ratio, then the mortality percentage. So these are some of the techno-economic parameters that a project report will include. Then you need to give the expenditure norms. It is all about like the different space requirement by the buck, then the space requirement in square feet by the female goat, then per kid how much you require, then what is the cost of construction, and what is the cost of equipments that you have used here, then what is the expense that you are going to do for the cultivation of the fodders with available land, right? So these are all like the expenditure norms that you are supposed to give here for calculating the expenditures and the income in the further slides. And then coming to the income norms, so you need to tell like for how much amount you have sold your buck, for how much amount you have sold your does, or for how much money you have sold your gunny bags or manures, right? And it should also include like the repayment of the loan, like for how many years you are going to pay the loan, and what was the interest rate that was given for your loan, right? So based upon these entities, so you will be constructing the like the returns, the techno-economical input we'll be giving for the 5 years here. We'll tell like how many kidding happened per doe in 1 year, how many male kids were born, how many female kids were born, so how many of them they actually died, right? Then how many female kids were available for selling. So all these technical aspects we'll be giving for the rest of the 5 to 6 years here. And then coming to the capital cost. So capital cost is the one, the amount that is required to to build your capital investment, or we call it as the non-recurring investment. For so fixing into the different entities, if your capital cost is around 3,42,680 rupees, then you need to tell what is your working capital. So working capital, it means that, so that you require for running the farm, right? So what is the, we include the insurance cost here, then the cost of the concentrate feeding here, then for the fodder production, then the miscellaneous expenses. So all those expenses will come together of around 40,000 here, around 42,320 rupees. So now we'll put the total project cost. So the total project cost will include the total capital cost plus the working cost, right? So it comes around 3,85,000. So this amount, it varies based upon like the amount that you have used for the purchasing of does and bucks here. So less amount is put, so less is the total project cost that we get. So if you put the more amount, so we'll get the more money, right? So bank will not give loan for the total project cost actually. So it will give keep 15% as the margin project cost, and only the bank loan of around 85% of the total project loan will be sanctioned for the farmers. So this is the total the bankable loan, or the amount that is sanctioned by the bank will be the 85% of our total project cost. Then this is the details of the expenditures, what we make, right? Then the total expenditure, if it is around 53,000 rupees, then it includes regarding the income, what is the income that we get over the next 5 years or 6 years, right? So we just calculate the proper expenditures that you have done and the proper income that you have gained over the selling of bucks, does, gunny bags, then manures, right? So if suppose in the first year you won't be getting any of the profit here, because you will be investing, you have invested the money on the non-recurring cost, and no kits will be available for you to sell them and get the income, right? So if you just look over the second and third, fourth, fifth, and sixth years, so you can expect that income in the range of around 2.9 lakhs here, right? So now we'll see how to calculate this gross profit. So gross profit is calculated. You need to subtract the total expenditure from the total income. It means that the total income should be subtracted from the total expenditure. So whatever the value you get here, we call it as the gross profit. And then, very importantly, so you need to understand the benefit cost ratio. So we call it as BCR. So this BCR will tell you whether you are in a profit or loss. So BCR, it stands for benefit cost ratio. So we use this formula to calculate BCR. So the formula used is total benefits divided by the total cost that you have put, right? So usually in the first year, right? So you'll get the negative BCR value. It means that you will get a value less than 1. So any BCR value which is more than 1, it indicates that your farming is into a profitable mode. So this is the point that you are supposed to calculate here. So it is the benefit cost ratio that we usually fix here to understand whether our farm is in a profit mode or it is in the loss mode. So if you just look over here from second year, right? So the total benefit, if you divide it by the total cost, so the value will be above 1, right? So it is from second year to sixth, over the period from the second year. So we start getting the high income here. So this was all about my presentation. So if any doubts, then I welcome the queries.
From the participant point of side, you have any query, then ask. Our expert is ready to your replying. Have you any query?
Dr. Srikant. Hello, Dr. Srikant, I am audible?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful presentation, Dr. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
I gone through your total presentation. You covered almost basic to advanced and advanced to again
Yes, sir.
Miss layman, up to the layman. You covered everything.
Yes, sir.
Now
Because
I,
of that,
now I have to search another topic for me.
okay, okay, sir. Sir.
Okay, Dr. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. So if no
Any
queries,
query?
sir, shall I hand over?
I think no query. And thank you so much, sir, is sharing your valuable knowledge